I'm here today with my mom, Jadwiga Pitlick-Kasich, and I will be interviewing her about her life. So, what was your childhood like?
Okay, I had a very happy childhood. My mom didn't work. She went to work when she was over 40. My father worked days and nights. He was able to support the family. We were a pretty wealthy family.
How did communism or living during communism affect or impact your life?
I liked that system, and I haven't seen any wrong. I was able to, my parents were able to pay for my university, studying in the university level, and they didn't have to take any loans. So everyone had access to any university, but the only problem, you have to be a really good student in high school, because you have to pass the matrix exam, which was the exit exam, and then the entrance exam to the university. And sometimes the ratio was like 1 to 19, so you had to be really good in order to get to the university, because there was just few in Poland.
Did you or anyone you know participate in the Solidarity movement during the 1980s?
No, my parents were not the Communist Party members, and they didn't want to be the Solidarity movement, didn't want to be involved in any Solidarity movement. I know my parents were even kind of against, especially father, because they liked the communist system.
What was it about the Solidarity movement that they didn't approve of, or that they disliked?
My father had like a vision that the system would be probably for rich people only, not for the common ordinary people, because they'll be losing jobs. They closed many factories at the time, and since the Solidarity movement, the unemployment is very high, so many Poles had to immigrate either to the United States or other countries, European countries.
Why did you travel to Russia?
I was always interested in traveling. I visited many European countries at the time, and Russia was like one of my goals. So I went to Moscow, and I stayed for a few months in the international hotel, where I was able also to master my Russian.
How was life in Russia similar to or different from life in Poland?
I noticed right away that the freedom of speech did not exist in Russia at the time. People were afraid of each other. They haven't been talking about others. They were afraid of touching any political issues.
What surprised you during your stay in Russia?
Going back to what I said before about the freedom of speech, one of the additional example would be that one day I decided to go to the Catholic Church, since I'm Catholic. And in a few days I was called by the director of the international hotel where other students from other countries stay, and he said they don't wish me to go to that church. And I had no clue, because I haven't mentioned anyone that I'm planning to go to the Catholic Church. That was the only Catholic church that was open in 1974 after the peace conference in Helsinki. So the next time I went anyway, and I noticed a camera in front of the entrance to the church, so I knew they were spying on me.
Were there any interesting stories you have to tell?
I visited many interesting historical places in Moscow and the suburbs of Moscow. However, that moment that I've been waiting for a long time was to go to the Lenin's mausoleum. There was a long line to get to the mausoleum. Many tourists have been waiting to get inside the mausoleum. I noticed that many newlyweds were putting flowers by the mausoleum. Then we went inside, where it was very dark, and I saw the body, Lenin's body. This looked like a mummy. So it was something. I know he was a humble man, and I don't know he would like that his body was preserved. So.
How did you and your family react to the election of Pope John Paul II, which was the first Polish pope?
Everyone was so cheerful. I was at the university at the time. I rented an apartment, so I was notified by the landlord what happened that day. You could hear the bells, the sounds of many bells. And I was especially attached to John Paul II because he baptized me when he was a bishop of Krakow. So I still have like a picture with his signature in the back. So people were very, very happy, all Poles. We are all proud of him. He's, I believe, the most famous Pole in the entire world.
When and why did you decide to immigrate to the United States?
I remember the day, that was August 2nd, 1990. The decision was more personal than financial. So, like the push factors for many immigrants coming to the United States, my reason was a little bit different. It was more personal. And since, like I mentioned, I love to travel. I wanted to check the myth about America. I was kind of wondering how the people live and about the lifestyle. At that time, I was a principal of Poland, and I made a lot of money, so it wasn't a financial reason to come to this country.
Did you plan on staying permanently right away, or did you initially come for a short period of time?
I planned, since the distance, I planned to stay for like a year. I was like on the sick leave, and then I could come back and still perform the position. So that was the initially. However, in the meantime, I met my future husband. He didn't want to go to Poland. We decided to extend our visit. I won a visa lottery because I was on a tourist visa initially.
What challenges do Polish immigrants and their children face today, and are there more restrictions regarding immigration now than there were when you first came?
I believe the country is different now. Not too many Poles coming to the United States recently. I think European nations offering Poles working as immigrants, giving them more opportunities. Plus, Poles stopped coming to this country because of the value of dollar value went down tremendously. So I remember myself coming to and visiting my parents in 1990s. I could feel like a princess. I could purchase for $100 a lot. Not anymore. Everything is so expensive now in Europe. So it's difficult to find a job right now. The unemployment is so high. Of course, for many people, especially elderly, there is a cultural shock, the matter of assimilation to different culture. You have to be flexible. Plus, it's far from your parents, it's far from your relatives. So it's a big challenge.
How is life in America different from or similar to life in Poland?
If I would compare, not even Poland, compared to other European countries that I went to visit, I would say the lifestyle is different. In Poland, still you have more time to spend with the family. First of all, there are distances you have to travel. For example, it takes me over an hour to get to my job one way. Plus, they don't work such long hours. They have more time. That's what I am missing, to spend with the children, with the family. So the lifestyle is different.
Thank you
You're welcome.
Thank you for your interview.
You're welcome.